the try.
Hey y'all, welcome to Accountability Call 47. We are here to hold each other accountable. And baby, I need it today because I ain't wake up till 9:30. Okay.
Look,
Okay. Child, I need the accountability today. Cause I just want to do nothing. My oldest baby celebrated her 5th birthday yesterday.
Oh my gosh. That was
Bye.
yesterday.
Yes, honey. Baby. And she got a party coming up with her sister at the beach. But if anybody knows my child, you know she not gonna be doing nothing on her birthday. Like, first of all, she was alarmed that she wasn't getting no cake. We like, the cake is coming for your birthday, girl. Chill out. So we ended up going to this park that we've been talking about going up to for a while, but I wanted to wait until my husband was home because it's an hour away. Exactly. It's called Kids Castle, and it's in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. When I tell y'all this is the playground of all playgrounds, it has a castle that is big, like as big as a hotel for these kids to run around through.
What?
Humongous. Yes. Humongous.
Oh, well, I'm going, and I'm going.
All wood. It's all wooden. And then it has 2 playgrounds on the outside, a big kids playground and a little kids playground. It's like, it reminds me of Beltline Water Park. Like all this space, grass, people to be in. They got a whole stage that anybody can come and do a whole concert. It was a Grace Family Church concert out there. Like, it was the turn up. Okay. So we were all exhausted this morning, so much so that my children didn't even wake up till like 9:10. And they went to go see their grandparents. They come get me till 9:30, baby. I was like, ooh, we was tired, but we celebrated. Okay.
Yeah.
We celebrated. So I'm feeling rested today for once. Okay. How y'all feel?
I feel good. I had adult field day at my house over the weekend.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Baby, when I tell you we had a blast, like we had so much fun that everybody's body is aching because the way our big grown selves was going down that slip and slide.
I can't. No.
Like, it really ignited the competitiveness in all of us. And I'm gonna blame Tia because she's been obsessed with the Olympics. So she's like, we trying to medal. I'm like, girl, no, we trying to have fun. But we did relays, we did like the little bucket challenge, we threw water balloons, like it was a blast. Like, yeah. I don't know that I've ever had that much fun as an adult in a long time. Like, just being outside, acting like a doggone kid.
Right.
So my body is very sore. Not in a pain kind of way, but in a, like, I feel like I worked out because I don't probably use muscles that I never use.
Right.
But so that has me on a really big high today.
I love it.
Wow, I'm loving that. You know what? The birth month is great. Make sure you show True, because Titi, I sent you a video, just show it to her.
Okay, I shall.
Yeah, she's so cute. But yeah, also this weekend was also really beautiful and crazy because I think one of the things I said for this 365 this new year, especially with all the traveling that I'm doing, is just like trying to find time to intentionally make time to hang out with Homesteaded Biscuits. So like every other day finding someone to walk with or eat with and stuff. But my friend Precious Price, who does real estate, she lives in Atlanta. She was in Harrisburg for a real estate conference. I'm like, Harrisburg?
Oh,
Harrisburg, and so she was like, no, you should come. Like, you can stay at my hotel and all of the things. I didn't know what I was getting into, but by the time I got there, it did rain really heavy. It was like that whole tornado.
Oh yeah, the tornado.
Ghetto. But by the time I got there, I'm just walking back. Say she's the MC for the whole thing. So I'm walking backstage, VIP. And then I'm looking at who are the headliners, and it was a man named D1 who I don't know. And I was like, okay, D1's really cool, like a Christian rapper.
The rapper?
Yeah.
From New Orleans?
Yeah. So he was there performing in Nose Precious and everything like that. But then I saw Moo Fresh. I said, no.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my God.
I need Moo Fresh was. And I was like, she didn't play yet, right? And then she was like, no, she's the top 2 headliners with D1, and then some up and coming artist named Kennedy Ryan was also there, who did that. I just let my ego, she's been knocking that the door. I was like, oh my All these cool people, and then her tour manager was Haitian. So when we found out we were both Haitian, I was just like, it was just amazing. And yeah, so basically, I literally was like standing right behind Mumu Fresh, like not behind her, but like backstage, like literally like while she was playing, and I was like waiting for her to come over so I could take a picture of her. And then she looked at me. She was like, I remember you. You came to my show in Philly, I think like 2019. I was like,
Stop
what?
It, girl. Stop playing with me.
I literally lost my I was like, what? You like?
Well, you're kind of an unforgettable person. Like,
yeah.
You
and I have a whole video of her being like, I remember you. Yeah, I recorded a video about how you felt about the show, and I remember. It was so nice seeing you again. I swear, like I love you so much. Like I'm like, if I could literally sit down with Mumu Fresh, Queen Latifah, and India.Arie, MC Light, like and Edwidge Datika, like my life would be complete. Like I just want to sit down. Now tell me it gets even better because now it's time to go in person. It's like, let's just get on the bus so we can head back to the hotel. We end up on the same bus as her. And then me and her ended up basically singing Celia Cruz song together. We were like singing la la de gracias. I don't even know how it happened, but I was like, and I was telling her about Haiti, and then it was time to go, and then I didn't know what to do because I was like, I don't want to be a creep, but I'm like, I really want to be your friend. Yeah, it was a lot, but it was great. And then the next day we went to the rest of the real estate summit. And then it was really nice. And I was like, Harrisburg is Bergen. It's Harrisburg. It was nice. And I came back and I'm here. So
oh my God,
it was a nice weekend too.
I love how everybody had a turned up weekend. Like a lot of great vibes, a lot of great energy this weekend. Like, first of all, Eve, I'm like so excited that you are so full of energy and light. And then also, I don't think I have seen you wear white in forever. Like you usually wear colors. So I'm loving this white. I'm loving the white.
Yeah, me too. I was just like,
and the glasses, the white, the glasses.
Yes.
It's giving. It's all giving.
I was thinking about recording a video, so I was like, oh, let me wear something neutral if I want the painting in the background. And yeah, I don't own nothing white. This is a shirt Alana had gave it to me.
This is the time to get some more. It's nice.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Very
amazing.
Good.
It's always great when you meet your idols or the people who you fan over, and they actually giving the real energy in real life that you have for them anyway. Like,
love it.
That is a whole vibe. That's a whole vibe. So I love it. Okay, so anybody want to share anything they learned last week? Anything you learned? I'm like, I really have to start writing down some things. Let me think. Cause y'all know I don't be remembering the way my memory set up. I remember the things that I just saw yesterday or the day before. So this don't have nothing to do with business, but this has to do with relationship. I was watching this. So me and Tawana had a whole heated argument about just like holding on to things that have been resolved, right? Like when you have a discussion with your significant other and you all have come to a resolution and like one or the other of y'all are still holding on to it, and not letting it go. And so, and I think sometimes the holding on to it comes from the difference in the way you all grew up, because sometimes you're like, well, I just can't believe that you would even think this way or do this way or whatever. But it's also like one of the things I said to him was like, I was like, there's actually no foundation and no reason for us to be on the same page. If you think about it, we're male and female. We're 7 years apart. We're from 2 different countries, have 2 different cultures. Right? We have completely different upbringing. So technically, if we're on the same page about something, it's like
celebrate,
baby. Because technically, we should be on the same page with nothing. Right? And that to me is what I'm learning, that in marriage, it's about figuring out, knowing you on this page, I'm on this page, and figuring out what's the page that we're building together. right? Based on what we know and understand, and what we want. So I was watching some podcast, and I need to watch the rest of it. And the husband on there was talking about how he was like, he realized that sometimes he would demonize his wife for things that she did or didn't do, but it was really just based on the way that she grew up. Like she's like, so he's expecting something because of the way he grew up, and she's doing something different. And he like, and it's like, but technically that's not the way she grew up, right? And so my takeaway from that was, even in those moments where you encounter someone who, because this can be in friendships too, and Z did a great live this week about friendship, but this can be in friendships too, like understanding, you know how we've talked before about you know, how our survival brain goes into like fight, freeze, fawn, all of these things. One of the things that was a big takeaway for me from that podcast was like understanding, like, what is your natural response, right? Are you somebody when you're in survival that you fight? Are you somebody when you're in survival that you fawn, that you freeze, right? And being aware of like how you respond and why you respond like that. One of the guy on the husband on the podcast was like, he was like, I watch my parents fight all the time. They also, he's like, you know, I'm old school black, so they also was like, somebody hit you, don't come up in here unless you have hit them back, right? Like, so he was like, my natural response is fight. So he was like, and it's not like fight physically. He was like, but you know, if I have a disagreement with my wife, my brain goes into like, all of that tension builds up and I'm ready to fight, right? And that's not her natural response, right? Hers might be to freeze, so she may just go silent, right, and not say anything. But being aware of like, what's your natural response, so, and the why of it, so that you are more inclined to be able to kind of break out of it a bit when you're engaging with your significant other. But for me, realistically, I think it is when you're engaging with anybody, because to me that wraps into kind of like the conflict resolution. Anytime it's a conflict, you're going to do that thing, right? And last week I had to put my big drawers on and have a conversation with my GC. And I realized through that conversation that I have really broken out of like my natural inclination, right, to flee, right, to run from conflict. Like, I'm no longer running from, I'm like very present in it and willing to be in it and manage it. So yeah, so that was what I learned last week. Like, really, like, you know, just be aware of like, what is your natural response to survival, and why. And then also just like, sometimes, you know, just being in a relationship, like, actually for you to be on the same page is a win, because realistically there's really no reason for you to be on the same page when you put two people from two complete different worlds together.
You know, it's all about perspective, baby. And realizing what your perspective is and that everyone doesn't share that same perspective, like going slow enough to pay attention to those things. We just move so fast, and we trying to rush to the resolution, like we got to get this done because we got to da. And it's like, hold up, take a look at how you view things and understand that that's your perspective and it's not the right perspective. That's really good.
I felt like I needed to hear this today because my God, relationships are not easy. I feel like the two things I learned is like don't it's because, like, you know, it's very similar but not the same, you know. And with the person that that I'm dating is just realizing that I can't expect the way that I process, because of all of the healing that I've done, like even though how I process now through like hurt is like what I learned through therapy, I can't expect that the person will have those same tools. So sometimes it's very frustrating because I'm like, I don't understand sometimes how to meet you where you are, because I'm like, there's tools, use the tools. So having grace and still not trying to be hurt in case of like how things are like delivered, because again, someone doesn't have the tools, is something that I'm learning. So now I feel like I'm like unlearning to learn again, because in my mind, I'm like, I love you enough that I will sit through this. There's some things I will not tolerate in how I'm being spoken to, or like in terms of like what things need to be done. But trying to figure out that middle ground and like how to communicate with someone when y'all don't share the same tools when it comes to like, especially if you feel hurt, is very hard. And then also too, if you feel like you've been hurt and yeah, you may have talked and it's been resolved. I realized that I needed to let go of the expectation that they will hurt me because it was changing in the relationship. Because there's a difference between like, if you're in a relationship, you will hurt somebody. Maybe not the word hurt if that's too strong, not even a wound, but like it can happen. Maybe not in the intention, but if just someone is not paying attention to like how they deliver or how they're being or like what they're not doing. So, but after a certain point in time, like things keep kind of happening, and again because of like those same similar but not the same type culture and like expectations, you almost start to think in your mind like, now I'm expecting you to hurt me, so now I'm already on the defense, which is like not fair to them or me and my body, because me being on the defensive, it really shows up in my body a lot, and I just become very defiant, which then now becomes make another problem of like, nah, I feel like you're me. So I completely agree. Working on it. So that was I don't even know if that was a coincidence, but I definitely needed to hear that. Yeah. But what I feel like I read last week was something similar that I was saying about like a year or two ago is, again, change pace, not purpose. I feel like with the current contract I'm doing, I feel like I'm moving at a speed at 100, but then I decided to move at a speed of 50, and my speed of 50 still feels like 100 to people. So I'm trying to just enjoy my time. Enjoy my time because I stay prepared. So I just allow myself to be prepared and do other things to continue being prepared for the future. So change pace, not purpose, especially when you work with other people of like a certain industry that you're in. Like, do what you need to do, be prepared for the future, and then if you have extra time, like read a book.
Okay.
Or draw something.
Or draw something, yes.
That's where I'm at.
You talked about the tools that you get from therapy, and what I learned came from my therapist last week. Again, Inez, we got to write these things down because this was Tuesday, so you know how long ago this was. If it wasn't on this paper, I would not be able to talk into it. But I was struggling with a task that I needed to complete. And I was talking to my therapist about it, and I realized that I was trying to win at the task, right? Like, I got to win this. It has to look like this. It has to be this way. And I was like, I know that it doesn't have to be perfect, right? We talked a lot about that on here, just like get it done. Done is better than perfect. But I couldn't get past the feeling of needing to win at it. And my therapist said that's because in our society tells us that if you're not winning, you're nobody. And so that like jumped on me, and I was like, that's right. Like, me doing the work isn't enough. I have to win at it. And needing to release that and let go of that and realize that the done is the win, not the perfect is the win. But that like really freed me emotionally, mentally from the task, or kind of the pressure that I had put on myself in completing the task. We'll get to whether or not I got it done, but step one was releasing that anxiety that went along with it, and it was a big step. It was a big step, but it really just opened up, so much more conversation, and then just the energy having the energy to be able to move forward. So if you're not winning, you're nobody. We all need to unlearn that because it's not true.
Yeah. And we talked about that because I feel like that ties into the idea of not being enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like if you're not winning, you're not enough. And I think I already know that's a huge question that a lot of people have in their mind, or they're trying to pursue through the things.
Mm-hmm.
Even we was talking about it last time, like trying to be extraordinary as opposed to being ordinary and letting that be enough. Yep. So yeah, this is a weekly thing.
Every week, child. It's a lot to unlearn, a lot to unpack. You don't even realize all the ways it shows up. So
Yes, like okay. So how y'all was doing last week? I'm over here looking like, what was we doing, child? What was we supposed to do? I'm looking at the top of my things I was calling in last week, and I put take greatness off the table.
Yep.
Yes, please. So I was calling an extra 20K. You know, I need to this week, and I'm gonna put that on there. This week I am going to start making phone calls. Like I need to like actually call the people, talk to the people. Because I feel like I have been hesitating on making this 20K a reality. And what I've been doing more so is trying to find a way to not need it. Right. Which would be great as well. Which would be great as well. However, I also want to be in a position where if I do need it, I just have it. So I need to do that. So 7 to 8 hours a week. My whole family is in the kitchen right now. I'm on live, okay, people. Unfortunately, my dining room is my office because #live. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I think I did get a lot of that this week. Schedule that's giving athlete and fun. Yes, I did do that. Like we were doing the things that I needed to do, and I had quite a bit of fun this week with the girls. Discounted materials. I did talk to my GC, the whole conversation, and came to find out that she spent way less on her property to renovate her property than what she had budgeted to renovate mine. So I was like, we need to do the same budget, baby. Same budget. Let's run that play again. So we're gonna have discounted materials. Sustained intimacy and healthy choices. Yes and yes. And then mamas who want everything I got. Like I feel like I called that in because was last week when I got the I think that was last week when I found out I was gonna do the
Yep.
So yes, like
wow.
So that is on the roll. And I'm starting to prepare for that. I got I know what I want to sell to them and I know how I want to serve them. So now this week is just kind of like starting the role of kind of getting more of that energy out into my social media spaces. Also that I can just start practicing and talking more about what I want to do and plan to release in October. I mean, October? It's September. So yeah. And then my word was ordinary. And I feel like I was leaning all the way into that last week. Like just listen, I'm not doing the extra. Extra, right? So yes. Mm-hmm. I also wrote down last week. I wrote down my outcomes for August, like everything that needs to be done by the end of August. And maybe I got 10 of those drinks. So I was like, this is like really helping me. And it's something I do when I plan trips too. Like before I'm going, maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I'm going, I'm like, what needs to be done before I go so that I don't have to think about nothing while I'm there. So I did that as well for this month. And I'm like finding it really helpful because every day I'm like re-looking like, okay, the tasks that I'm doing today, do they tie up with getting these things done by the end of August? Like, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Last week, so that new course offering, that's the thing I was stressed about. The goal was to get it launched last week. It's on the list again this week, but I did make some major steps. I found a point of sale system that I want to use. And I started building that out. So that should be done in the next day or so. But yes, made major progress on getting that complete. It's not done yet, but it's almost there. Number 2, comms client deliverables. I did get those out last week's deliverables. Number 3, networking profile. I was supposed to put all the details in there. I did not do that at all. And child fitness, I don't want to say I didn't work out because the adult field day was a workout. But other than that, I ain't did nothing. I went from 7 days on to 7 days off.
Right.
So we gotta get back in it. And I did, for the things I was calling in, I have the 50,000 client contract. The team didn't no progress on that. team structure and opportunities, I did have a conversation with this business coach, and she did give me some framework around continuing to structure my team, not only based off of like what I want right now, but where do I see the company in 5 years. And that was so helpful. I feel like I have mostly been focused on what do I need to do right now. And that's great, but I also need to look up and be like, oh, what direction am I going in? So I feel like that, I'm still calling that in, and bit by bit is coming together. Still calling in sustained cash flow and a sold out coaching cohort. Didn't happen yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I love it. Eve?
Yes, I had better go to bed, better go to. Oh, I said better go to bed instead of have a better go to bed routine.
Oh,
well,
both. Like
both. I feel like relatively, I would give myself a B. I can still do better with just like putting my phone away in another room like an hour before bed and stuff like that. But I'm doing like a lot of like lighting my candle and like thinking about how I want my day to be and hyping myself up about how the day I had. And I got myself a little vibration plate, so I like to shake on it before I go to bed. It's great. So that's good. Going outside, definitely feel like I did that. I want to continue doing that some more. I'll be scheduling some more time to hang out with people every other day, to catch up, and then scheduling time to be with friends over the next few weeks. I need to come visit you, Nezzy, before the birthday celebration stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I feel like relatively handling self-care as best as I can. Still eating well, still taking all my herbs and my medicine and stuff like that. So I feel good with that. Phase 2 research approved and recruitment for participants started. Like I said, slow down. So slowing down on that. Hopefully that will start next week. Until then, I'm gonna get some other things done and hopefully get that approval to come speak at Harvard in November. So find tenant to ASAP. I actually did have a walkthrough with someone yesterday and hopefully someone else later this week. I'm sending y'all pictures of the basement. It looks glorious.
Oh wow.
The basement unit. Yeah, it looks really great. And then I talked about Q3 is all about growth and what does it look like and setting up time to share that with friends and everything like that. So in the few connection meetings that I had with friends and whatnot, I definitely was sharing that. So that was really good. And I've been having some connection calls for some future contracts. Hopefully should be hearing something back in the next 2 weeks. So we're good. So for me, I'm calling in my next contract. Still ease of getting work done for the property. Contractors are coming in like an hour today, 100K plus more before the end of the year, getting accepted to speak at Harvard and bringing up that stuff in therapy. So I'm going to continue that into this week.
I love it. I just leaped myself on this call earlier today, so I'm over here thinking through what I'm going to be doing and calling in this week. If anybody knows what they're doing,
let me tell you why I know, because it's the same thing as last week.
Oh,
basically, yeah. I'm not even gonna hold you.
We're gonna give the current client their deliverables. I need to update my networking profile and complete the trainings. That's all in the networking and fitness 4 days a week. Call in a 50,000K contract, team structure, sustained cash flow, and sold out coaching cohort. Literally, it is a repeat of last week.
Yeah, I agree. Same for me as well.
I feel like mine is kind of actually a bit of a repeat. Here to go. No, it's not True's birthday anymore. Yeah, my baby was like, "Where are my prizes?" yesterday. I was like, "Baby, these aren't prizes. These are presents for True's birthday."
Yeah, she's winning at life.
That's like, Where are my presents? I'm like, your presents are coming for your birthday. Is it my birthday today? No. Right.
I love it.
She was like, what is going on here? So the first thing that I have on here is I have an interview this week. Eve, I don't know if I told you about this.
What?
I'm interviewing the company that our friend Naya works for.
No way.
Yes, I am. Oh, and look at Naya being engaged.
Ma'am, not only that, being engaged, the guy engaged like 3 weeks ago, and the wedding is in October.
She sound like my life, okay? Sound like my life. And she moved. I'm like, come on, Naya, come on back to the mainland. Although I don't know why you would come over here, girl. But yes. So yes, I'll be interviewing with them on Thursday. And I'm actually looking very much forward to it. So one of the things I'm calling in is an interview that I'm proud of. Last time I did not do an interview that I was proud of because I just did not prepare at all. I was just like, do. So I actually have a conversation with her tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to prepare for that. And I'm sure that I'm going to slay it. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which is definitely from last week. I need to just continue to go to sleep and get my hours in. I'm also calling in and just planning to have some transparent calls with my sources of capital, and be like, look, honey, coins. The other thing is I figured out that, in addition to selling our property, which is the goal, I want to also be able to have a plan B. So I'm like, I want to start talking to banks about being able to refinance our property. So just in case we have to hold it longer, we still can pay everybody off and have a lower mortgage. And then we can sell it after that. So I'm calling in banks that are confirmed to refinance our property.
Nice.
Sustained intimacy and healthy choices as usual. Got to keep this body bodying. And I think I'm gonna put on there what I had last week, which is Mamas Who Want Everything I Got.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Had it. So what about the word for the week?
So my word of the week comes from kind of what I shared and what I learned. I was talking to my therapist about being able to redefine the term win, because I felt pressure because I was trying to win based off of some external standard, or some external metric. And I decided that what winning looks like for me is connecting with people. So it doesn't matter how many or how many people I sell my package to. The win is in connecting with the individual people. So my word for the week is going to be connect.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. Mine last week was childlike. Mine was last week was childlike, and I think that did really good for me and was very.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that word for last week.
Yeah. So I think childlike is the way to go because I'm a 9-year-old adult. So I think I'm gonna continue that energy for this week as well. Is doing me right.
Interestingly enough, Eve, I was going to say the same thing. I think my word for the week is going to be ordinary again, because I think the energy of that is a constant reminder to what Z was talking about earlier around, like, you don't have to be, doing the most, super successful in the way that other people are successful, like, in order to be winning, right? And so for me, it's a reminder, like, to just be ordinary me, like, and that is the win. That is success. That is going to bring the success. That I want the things that I want. That's going to help me complete the task that I wanted to get done. Like, so I think I'm going to lean right back on into that one. And keep it ordinary. I think.
I love it.
So yes. Okay. Well, yes. This has been a good accountability call. We are almost at 52 episodes, y'all.
Come on.
We are almost at 52. I think when we hit 50, we're gonna open it up to the Facebook community and let them come on in. Is that
On in the
come on
room?
in the room? Exactly. I think
I
we're gonna
love
let
it.
them come on in so that when we get to 52, they can celebrate with us and they can go on back and watch the other ones
Right.
on the tube. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
So yes. Y'all will be back next Monday. Join us right here. Until then, have a great week.
Hey.
Bye, y'all.